Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Old Stream Farm expansion. I had another one of my senior moments. I thought, this is already out, I've already done this, I'm sure I have. No, that was FS19. But here it is, and what has staggered me as well. Look at that view in front of us. When this map first came out, and I mean first came out, way back when, it staggered me, the detail and the beauty, and that when you went out the front from here, I've only been to France a few times, but just how very French it all felt. It was just incredibly well done. And now looking at this building and thinking, the BlackSheep Modding did this, how many other maps, modders, map makers have used this building, this facade, you know, on maps? It's incredible. And also how many iterations this map has gone through, which is also quite staggering. This is 286.29 megabytes download. The original version was 218 megabytes, so not huge. I've already mentioned, but this is BlackSheep Modding map. There are 3 required mods which download automatically. We have one custom crop, which is alfalfa. That's a grass that's put into the ground with a seeder, and then that can be mown. It can be tedded, turned into hay, baled, that kind of stuff if you want to. Contracts are available. I'm going to show you now. Let's go into, let's go to the map. The map looks like this. Now, what I did off camera, I went onto the mod hub on Farming Simulator website and got the picture for this, the expansion, and then I got the original one. And what I've done, I overlaid the original map onto the expansion map, and what will come up now is that picture. The white line shows you the original map, and everything else around that is the expansion. So it has expanded quite a bit, and like I say, what fascinates me is looking at the map. As I'm going around, I'm looking for features, thinking, wow, this is, you know, I'm looking for features that were on the FS17 version, potentially. This has changed massively. Out from the farm here, you used to come round and across this little bit here. This whole area was a big old town, and the river kind of ran round. It was weird. When you came up north of here, the sawmill was up in this tree line here. Honestly, it is so vastly different. So on New Farmer, we start with the main farm area, field 3. All of the rest of this that is lit up is a verge, a periphery. That's farmland 1. Doesn't cost anything. On New Farmer, you start with that. So on Farm Manager and start from scratch is 0 anyway, so you can buy it. That's not the only one though. If I click on this, you've then got all of that. So if I click on another map, you see all that goes on. Click on that again. Also 0, that's Farmland 77. So you can get all that as well for nothing if you want to. This section up here is like a highway, dual carriageway that runs across the map. And there's a few crossing points for that. The route around this map is going to be a little bit unusual, a little bit different to what I normally do, probably. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying to think what else I want to show. Yeah, field prices are about average, what you'd expect for the size fields. Again, I always mention this. Some maps, they're really, really cheap. Some maps, they seem very, very expensive. This pretty much standard for what you're going to get. There aren't many farms, there aren't too many extra things to purchase, which is nice, but it is a nice big expansion out from here. So slot count, we'll talk about that now. On New Farmer, it's 1,455. Farm Management start from scratch, that comes down to 1,357. Difference being, you don't have any of the start equipment or machinery on Farm Management start from scratch. All that being said as well, there's this main farmyard, and there are 2 other farmyards. One's a yard, one's got chickens on it. All the buildings can be removed, and what's nice about this as well, when you remove the buildings, the decorative objects are in clumps. You can remove all the decorative objects as well. If you do, and I did that on the 3 farms, I got the slot count down to 1,079. So it comes down a big chunk. This farm will look like this. So as with the 3 small farms map tour that I did the other day, I was going to just say, you know what, I'll just do the extension, but actually it's not. It's been such a long time since I've been on here, and I can't remember whether things have changed or not. But anyway, As you can see, racking, tractor and plough just there, front weight sitting in front of it just there. Farmhouse, you've seen these probably enough times by now. Sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger inside the farmhouse. If we come through the farmhouse and out this side here, we do have a workshop trigger just there. Out the front we've got our pickup, which we'll be using in a little while. We come through and out here, we've got chickens, 150 of. When you purchase those, they will just wander freely around the yards, living their best lives. We come through here, cow pasture, cow barn, which swings round and comes into the barn here. This is for 150 cows. I'm seriously toying with my last Let's Play, sort of as we head towards FS25 releasing, being a map like this that I played way back. Did I do it on 19? Probably 17. The Old Stream Farm, Old Farm Countryside, and something, you know, one of those. Because I really love this map. Front loader, cultivator just there. We come across here. Storage space, silo. Where's my silo? Silo's just through here. 400,000 litre multi-fruit silo, just in here. If we come just around there, we've got a small vegetable garden that you start with on New Farmer. Only because on Farm Management Start from Scratch you don't own the land yet. Once you purchase this farm, you'll get that production on there anyway. We come round past here. Pig pen for 60. Just in here. Harvester, header trailer just here. Silage clamps, one here and two a little bit further round. Just there. Like I say, it is fascinating. It seems very familiar, but also as it has changed, blended over this. It'd be interesting actually to go through 17, 19, 22 and try and take a picture from the same angle and blend between the three and see how much it has changed over time, because it's very cool. Barn and building space down the side here. I think this is one of the early maps as well. I played with SealyG on one of these. I can't remember if we recorded, but we definitely did some stuff off camera. Bale and pallet storage, 550. Just there. And we come round here, we've got a sheep pen with various different triggers inside the building, but a dialogue box just there for 100 sheep. And that is the main farm. What we'll do is, there are 100 collectibles. I've come across a couple here and there. We have got a train that runs around. I have got one discrepancy that I'm not sure about. I'll show you in a moment. Yeah, that's to do with the train. But if we go into build mode, in addition to the 3 required mods, 2 of which I think are BlackSheep Modding mods anyway, the 60 buildings pack and the old storage shed are both BlackSheep Modding. Then we've got agricultural fair by Chenben. So in addition to added in by BlackSheep Modding onto here, was it under here or was it under? It was under silos. Wrong place. There you go. Old Stream Farm expansion. We've got some silos added in. If we then go from silos, nothing under anything else. Productions. Now, this is something that I need to kind of point out. So, Old Stream Farm biogas plant, lime production and fries factory had been added in. But part of the 60 buildings pack, which is also BlackSheep Modding, there are a couple of things to point out. For example, fruit and oil press there, and this sawmill here. Now, these aren't on the map at the moment, but if you went through your prices menu and you'd get down to the climbing frame and pallets, you'd be wondering, I don't understand, they're not on the map. That's because they're part of the 60 buildings pack, so you can put them on here. And what you can also do, because there's various different ones in the 60 buildings pack, as you can see, if we go along to orchards, we do have in that pack also apple trees as well. So it's 60 buildings, it's quite a big pack, there's a whole lot going on. So there's so much more from BlackSheep Modding you can add into this map, which isn't on the sort of base version of it, but you can add in if you wanted to. So that was productions. I think under animals, the only one that was added in above was chickens. Yeah, that one there. Cheeky coop, cheeky coop, a chicken coop for 2,000 chickens. And then I think the only other thing was under landscaping and plants. I think we had one. There you go. A short grass option. So that's the main farm. I have already taken the liberty of putting some money in. As you can see, on New Farmer you would normally start with 100,000, so we have got a little bit extra thrown in. The other thing as well, I think, as my memory blends, as I'm going around doing map tours like this, I'm looking for sell points, productions, things that were on previous versions, and I'm thinking, I don't understand, where are they? Do I need to buy the land? And it's because they're not on here. They've been moved. The map has been tweaked and changed. Not things like this. I don't own the land. It's just part of the periphery of the verges. I'm trying to think. Let's just go back onto the map and have a look. I suppose technically right on the boundary, but we can open the barn doors here to go through out to the other side. I always remember the first time I came on here, driving through, and there was a little gap here, which is still here. This little track that led up the hill. I always just found it fascinating. It just added such an immersion. I mean, obviously, there are so many maps now, and this is like back in the day when we went from FS15 to FS17. On console, we started getting mods, and we got mod maps, and it was mind blowing, you know. So from here, I think there's less traffic as well. I think at one point to the left that had been a pasture. It's not on this one. I think there are more buildings as well. Like I say, I know I'm harping on about other things, but to our left there we've got a little yard that can be purchased if you want to. There's no animal pens on it. There's no sleep triggers, nothing like that. And then we come here to the vehicle shop. Vehicle shop menu just inside, workshop trigger just here. The reset point is in this yard over this bit here. This is your vehicle shop and workshop with a reset point. We come just through here, we've got the bakery. This one's a standard bakery. We do have another one we're going to have a look at later on. I'm not going to purchase this one, but this is a standard bakery. And something else to note, again, I'm sure there was a yard here on a previous version, and you know. But if we come out and around here, we come to this plot here, which is plot 34. It could be missed or easily overlooked, but just here. So we came out from the farm, up the top there, vehicle shop, bakery, and we're here at plot 34. Do that, that and that. Open the gate. Sheep pasture for 150 sheep up on the hillside. And what we've also got, which is a fairly common thing on BlackSheep Modding maps, is we've got a remove fence option. Not all fields have them, but if you look for this box, it will be there to add or remove the fence. And again, what's amazing is that looking out and seeing that expansion out further and further, and the fenced in sort of, let's say, highway, main road, however you want to refer to it. So, sorry, so I thought, hang on, that's not my car, what's going on? Spoiler alert, over to the right. I mean, I couldn't possibly say what they might be, but you know. So the train, and that's what I will talk about in a moment when we get to the railway line. The train goes to, I did write it down and I've lost it on my notes, Ortenburg. But if you go into the menu under wood, like lumber, it says sell point Marisson. Now I'm pretty sure on the previous version the train went to Marisson. But there's nothing else on the map saying Marisson, so I'm assuming Marisson and Ortenburg are the same place. I don't know. So we cross over just here. The level of detail on the map is tremendous. For the most part, most maps are. To the right hand side we have got another pasture we're going to come to momentarily. That's plot 20 for cows, but I want to just, what's up here? Just so we can get a little bit closer to the main highway. I'll throw the drone up so we can have a look. You can't actually get onto that, but I say there are some crossing points here and there. I think one being, is that up here? The roadway goes over it. Oh no, we're at the edge. Maybe it's a bit further along. Placeables point here. Well, actually no, this is not. That's what threw me a little bit. I'm going to show you. I don't know if it's a custom texture or something. It's showing as a regular field on the map, but I thought it was a placeables point. I mean, you can use it as a placeables point. And when I came across this field, when I was doing my run around the map to make my notes, that field to the right had like a cultivated texture to it. It didn't have grass in it. So I just went past thinking, no, it's a field. It's showing as a field. And then I saw that trough and I thought, hang on a minute. It didn't have grass in it, which at least this time round it has got grass in it. So I've opened the gate here. So we have come from the sheep back past there, followed that road round, come round here, and we are here at plot 20. Just there. Going to our triggers, 200 cows in this plot here. Now, I have, as best as I can, off camera, gone round looking for every plot I've bought up, everything that didn't have a crop in it, to check and see if there's any other pastures. And I couldn't find any others. I may have missed one, but I couldn't find any others. Places like plot 29, where I'm sure had been in a previous version. Plot 70 is a placeables point, and again I looked and thought that's got to be a farm area with a pasture. No, that's just a placeables area. So I have had a bit of a whiz round, like I said. If I've missed something, I do apologise. Yeah, look, that texture over there. It's a curious one, but it's definitely showing. Where are we here? Just as regular fields. I don't know. Anyway, please tell me that hasn't got a collision. All right. So I'm going to actually observe the rules of the no entry sign. This is the GCHB grain elevator sell point. The multi-layered effect of this with various different bridges and the rivers and the railroad, and it adds such an immersive feel to the whole thing. The landscape's pretty, the lighting's great, colour and texture palettes work fine. Dairy here, now this dairy, I would say it's standard, but this dairy only does butter and cheese, it doesn't do chocolate. You come through here into, I guess, the main part of the town really, but like I say, this is massively different from how it originally was. To our right we've got the tailors just there, restaurant sale point just there. To our left, we just tuck in here, we've got the grape processing unit. I'll stop there and turn the engine off. And we've got the spinnery just there. I'm going to buy that because I can't remember if that was standard or not. I think it's standard. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is whiz down the hill, because what we've got here is the railroad silo. Now, this is a little bit, it can throw you off a little bit, because in the description on the mod hub it says 3 rail silos for selling crops. What it means is you can load your crops onto the trains at these and take them to be sold. There are not sell points at these. These are transfer silos. Oh no, just missed it. Can I get to it before it disappears? We've got a rent train point just around the corner. I think we might be able to. It's slowed down enough. Let's rent it. That should slow down and come back. So, putting into the silo is done here. Taking out of the silo done here if you're doing it by road. You can store stuff in this. You don't have to put it on the train. Just use it as a storage silo if you want to. And then putting in or offloading from the train can be done here. And then you can send the train off. So if you've got a contract that is requiring you to sell to, now it may come up Marathon, it may come up for the other one, Ortenburg. So what I'm going to do, and I said this was a sort of weird way of doing it, if we come back to the map, so we swung around GCHB grain elevator, down there past the dairy, tailors and restaurant there, grape processing unit and spinnery, and we're down here. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to take the train and we're going to go round and follow the track. We're going to take in some of the bits that are on the train line and then up to there, and then I'm going to come back to the pickup and we're going to do the rest of the tour, because I thought if I do it all by road it's a lot of driving out to get to certain locations. Most of this stuff all here is all fields. There's no sell points, there's no pastures or anything there. When we go past on the train, we'll get to have a look anyway. The railroad silo is fairly standard as far as railroad silos go. It's yeah, standard crop types. It's not anything over and above. It's not a multi-fruit or anything like that. But it's a good way as well of getting a look at the scenery as we go. And I can take in all the stuff without doing sort of routes out and back. That's plot 70, that's the placeables area that I was talking about. This bit is always, I say always, on the previous version. I'm sure I said this before when I did the map tour. Unfortunately, this is going to, because there's no disabled camera collision, so unfortunately we're going to go zoink, there we go, and zoink, and again. But that layout is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we're coming along here to the sawmill. We have a rent train point, just there. Carpentry in that building. Sawmill at this building. All standard, with your regular drop-off points, pick-up points, and pallet spawn points. Like I said, if you want the sawmill that does the climbing frame and stuff, you'd have to place that elsewhere. But it is, yeah, as an extension goes, it's pretty cool. Is it different enough from the previous extended one? I'm trying to remember. I think there's a few tweaks and changes. Nothing massive. I think it was always the beauty of the standard version when it first came out. It was a nice, compact, small farm with enough sell points and stuff around it in the little village. And I guess for people that want to expand their farming experience out. Now again, this possibly could have been done as an update, but if you do it as an update, then that takes away... I guess that's the thing. When I said the other day on the 3 Small Farms map tour, a lot of map makers have been doing this lately. It's different if the map is the same size and it gets tweaked a little bit and then put out as a new map. That I think is a little bit frustrating. When a map gets extended or expanded, I completely understand why you would have rent train point just here. Why you would have a separate map for it, or you could have an update and have 2 map options, because it takes away the option for someone who wants to play on the smaller map. If you just say, look, this is an update, it's now massive, people might want to play on the small one. I think grain mill standard just here, around the corner there. We've got livestock market, animal dealer, and the animal dealer sell point, which is usually bales and things like that, just there. Animal related crop types, and we've got a gas station just over here. Which we're going to pass momentarily. So we go under the road. Should have done that before, that would have been better, wouldn't it? What we're coming up on now is the GLW. This is another transfer silo without in and out from the train. Rent train point there, around the other side of the building. For the GLW, we've got the in and out for road transfer. So again, transfer silo or storage silo, that's entirely up to you to put stuff onto the train. And then we head up from here, we go to the tunnel, and the tunnel will take us off the map. So we're here. So we've come all the way from here, round there past the sawmill, round there past the transfer silos, animal dealer, and grain mill, gas station here. And now we're going to go off the map. So then what I'm going to do, on foot, so yeah, Autumnberg. If I show you now, I was going to show you, if we go into here and we go down to our sell point options, if I scroll down, wood chips, wood, there you go, yeah, Marathon. I think it's the only thing that shows us Marathon, and I can't find it on the map, so I'm making the assumption that is Autumnberg as well. So we'll have a little bit of a wander now. We're going to head back up in a minute to the pickup, which is cool, and we'll carry on around. But I thought it might be quite nice, a mixture of in the pickup, on foot and by train. Northwest of the map, little village up here. I think it does say in the description, is a fictional place set in a fictional European-style countryside. We've got the villages of Dorfbach, Grunwald, Steinbach and Damhof. Steinbach is where we are now. Plenty of people having a wander, enjoying the day. So just over here, this is the fries factory, which can be purchased. Not too expensive either. So bring sunflower oil and potatoes, fries out. French fries, no less. I suppose, yeah. Isn't it? It's that thing when people say, I'm going to go and get some Chinese food. In China, it's just food. We call them French fries, but I suppose in France, they're just fries. I know. It's deep. The level of things we talk about on my map tours and on my channel, it's deep stuff. So, just here, traditional cheese dairy. So this is a separate dairy. And if we manage production point, so butter, cheese and chocolate, yogurt with sugar. Now again, I think we must have another production, because in the prices menu it does show another yogurt, like a fruit yogurt, which isn't showing on here. So I think there's another factory for that. But anyway, this dairy will do that. Shutter at the back that opens and closes, so your productions pallets will spawn here. You can take them out from the back. Putting in is done around here. And the next door, we've got the country bakery. This one's important to purchase because bread, melon tart, cake, apple tart, beignon berrichon. So things like the melon tart and apple tart, you're going to have the greenhouses, which is part of the 60 buildings pack, which will do them, and apple trees as well if you're going to do apples. So it's interesting it's got it on here, but doesn't have any of those on the map. And again, I did buy up lots and lots of plots to make sure I hadn't missed them. I hadn't missed some greenhouses somewhere or anything like that, but they are there to add in. And next door to that, we've got the agricultural fair, sell point for all sorts of gubbins. Then across the way, we've got another farm yard farm area. This is plot 93. So back to our map. From the train, we had a wander up here into the Ville. 93, that and that. So we've got a lot of storage barn and building space, and we've got a sleep trigger farmhouse, which is just behind us there. What is interesting, I was looking on the map, and there was a little plot, tiny little plot here that had sugar beet in it when I came onto my map prep. It's a little plot of sunflowers, and when you look at the map, it's just this tiny little bit just there. There's a few of those around the map. It's a curiosity. So storage and building space. Build the farm or not. Again, all these buildings can be removed, so if you want to use the plot and build a completely different farm, you can, or a different layout. That's entirely up to you. Sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger just inside the farmhouse here. That's the northwest of the map. I'm going to head back to the pickup. So we've come all up here, and again, I checked out on these. There's no pastures out here, no more sell points or anything like that I could find. So whiz the right way back across, wherever I left the pickup. Where is it? Over there, up by the spinnery and grape processing unit, and then we will continue our tour from the grape processing unit. I think we can buy that plot just there. Is it here or to the left of this one? There's a couple of little plots and little yards. Farmers Market sell point is just there. If we turn in just here, this is plot 74, I think it was. Yeah, so 73 is just the other side of the road. You can purchase, got a little bit of a yard. 74, do that and that. This is our stables. Again, lots of barn and building space. No silos or sleep trigger at this one, but we do have horses. I think this was 16, I want to say. Yep, with the gate that can be opened and closed. I don't know actually if this pen has got the option for removing fence. I didn't come across. Oh, there we go. Look, just saying that. Yes, it has. If you want your horses to escape. I mean, that being said, if your horses like a bit of jumping, they probably could jump fences, but That's your stables. Unlike me, who is slightly unstable. Continuing. We'll skip over that one, that was terrible. To our right, sugar mill, standard. Bit further along. I love these, like when you've got bridges with the flowers on and all that, just splash of colour. It's not overly done, but just enough. So we turn in here, we've got the biomass heating plant, which is a sell point, which is just here. And just down here we've got lime production. Little production that can be purchased, stones in, lime out. Fairly straightforward, I'll say, and standard, but nothing over and above. Doesn't require water or anything like that. Yeah, just stones in and lime out. 2,000 to 6,000, so you're gaining a fair bit of lime out compared to stones in. Nice touch. I always find on maps like this, especially like map tours like this, that I feel like you need to get round and do the map tour. You need to show all the relevant points of interest, and you need to do it in a sort of, whoa, no, don't get stuck, in a fairly sort of timely manner, so the map tour doesn't become 2 hours long. But I often feel as well on maps like this that I don't want to do the map makers a disservice and miss. I mean, there's so much of the map that you drive around and think, wow, that looks fantastic, and you just want to show it all off, but you can't show everything. My advice is always, if you watch the map tour and think, I quite like the look of that, jump on and have a, scour the map, go around and look at every nook and cranny, every corner, even if you do it with like aerially, if you use the build mode and go around, I can give you an insight, I can give you an overview. And the other maps, you go around and you think, okay, yeah, I've shown everything. There's no more to show, kind of thing. So, back along the same way we just came, but this just again will help with the direction of movement. We have got the biogas plant just here now, if my notes are correct. If I can read them. So we came down past there, biomass and lime production, back along there, and we're at the biogas plant. If I click on that purchase of land there is 0. So you can buy the biogas plant land for nothing. Sometimes you have to buy the biogas plant to get the land. Sometimes you buy the land to get the biogas plant. They are separate, and it's 0 anyway, so that's absolutely fine to buy the land. And then biogas plant itself, 120,000 for a 250 kilowatt, and it's fairly standard with productions in, or products in, and product out. That's your biogas plant. Then from here again out onto the expansion. Like anything, it expands with age. Not everything. Outplast plot 70, which was the one I said about the placeables plot, and then just over the top of that set of bridges. I love that. We come all the way out to here. Another lovely little village, hamlet. So what I'll do is just turn in here. Hopefully I won't block the road. So we have come from the biogas plant, down across there, across here, all the way down here. Now you can buy plot 145 and 144. They're just plots. That's a placeables area. That one's got a farmyard. And there's a couple of buildings you can remove on there. No sleep trigger, no animal pens, anything like that. Plot 146 is a different matter. That's got a sleep trigger, and we've got chickens on this one. Does also mean I can open the gate. If you go across the road here, you'll see at 145. This is a really nice yard actually. Not too expensive either. I think you can remove that building, and is it this one, or it might just be that building over there. So again, if you want to make yourself a little yard here, production, sell point, anything like that, you can. And then this one just round here, larger placeables area for activities. If we come through, the farmhouse is like the main farmhouse with our sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger just inside. And we go through, there's no workshop, this one hasn't been added in, it's been left for you to build, do whatever you want with it. And then we come to the chicken pen. Now I'm sure we had a mod of this, although this is not showing as a mod, but this is one added in by the map maker. And these are very cool. We do this, turn on shed lights. So putting in is done there, and then you turn your production on. What I love is when you open this up, the feed things lift up, so you can go in and do whatever you want to do. So we can put our animals in here, our chickens in. Let's close that back down again. And then what we've got here, when the production runs, we can also open this as well, which is very cool. A little bit of air in, bit of extra light in. But when the egg boxes spawn, the egg boxes spawn along here, which is cool. What you do, if you click on this, watch the conveyor bit. If I click this paddle at the end, the conveyor runs and it will pull the boxes off and out here. And then when you're done, you can send it back. That's a cool feature. Now again, it might be we haven't had that on FS22, it might have been 19 I'm thinking of, but I love that. Turn off shed lights. Close the gate. Placeables area out to this side. And that, in essence, is the map tour. That's all of the buildings and points of interest and that kind of thing. But like I said, I often feel that, you know, have I shown enough of it for people to get a feel? I think so. I mean, that's the point of the map tour as well. It helps people if they're looking for certain things they might have missed, or at the end of the day, I might miss things as well. But for you to get a feel and think, actually I quite like the look of that, I might go and play on that. It might be you think, I've never played on a map like that before, but I like the look of it, and that's absolutely fine. I just thought we'd drive out, because this is all expansion, this is all extension at this point. I haven't come across any bits that are clunky, sharp, angular, it's smooth, it just flows. It's a very nice map. That's a nice expansion to the original. That is the old Stream Farm expansion by BlackSheep Modding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.